for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered, whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Remember last ball drops? Remember that pretty successful thing we had on during the French Open and during Wimbledon, that as soon as that last ball dropped, we would go live with a review of the day? Well, for New York, we've got something slightly different. It's called the first serve. It may look like last ball drops. It may even appear like last ball drops, but it's on at a different time. Some of you may be thinking, oh, a little bit more convenient, European time, mid-afternoon. Well, you're probably right. Anyway, it's coming your way every day for the next week or so, from probably until about around 4, I would imagine. 3 p.m. Central European Time, 2 p.m. British Summer Time, and therefore 9 a.m. in New York, so Eastern Time, will be coming your way every day with a review of the previous day's action and a look forward to the day ahead. All here on Talkin' Tennis. So, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and see you at 9 a.m. Eastern Time every day during the US Open until middle of the second week, more or less.
I've officially lost my voice, so let's recap day 5. Another packed house for Taylor Townsend, who was taking on Caroline Mukova on the second biggest court, Louis Armstrong. I haven't seen this much net play all tournament, and Taylor's intensity in the first set was off the charts. She dipped in the second, though, and Mukova won in straight sets. She's into the second week. Next up was Aslan Karatsev and Ben Shelton on grandstand. Ben was serving bombs, and it was all too much for the Russian. Shelton has booked a date with Tommy Paul in the next round, which will most definitely be on a show court. The line to get into the general admission section for the Tiafoe match wrapped around the building, and it was the ticket to have. Mannarino proved tricky, but I haven't seen Tiafoe this locked in. If he keeps going like this, the semis are in his grasp. Finally, Taylor Fritz took on the birthday boy Jakub Mensik, who played valiantly, but Taylor, who is on a mission to shake off his bad runs at majors, was clinical. It was my first full night session, and the outside courts were quiet and being put to bed. Court 17 still had one match going, and I started there with Peyton Stearns and Katie Bolter. Peyton's forehand was firing, and Katie didn't have the answers. The match was over in straight sets, and Peyton joins the other Americans in the second week of this US Open. I arrived at Louis Armstrong's first set tiebreak between Grigor Dimitrov and Sasha Zverev. Dimitrov was putting on a show and playing phenomenal tennis in the first 2 sets. But his level dropped for the next 2, and Zverev did well to hang in there to win the match. Vosova and Alexandrova were next out on court around 11:30 p.m. Eastern. But thankfully, Marketa understood and wrapped it up in just under an hour.
Ready. Play.
A long time no see.
Long time indeed. Just a few minutes ago, of course, we were watching Goyo fight valiantly against Djokovic, but it wasn't enough, of course. And Djokovic goes through in straight set. My TV is looking a very strange Something very strange is going on with the visuals at the moment on my TV, so I'll see if I can fix that hopefully before this match gets underway. They are now, of course, on court. Listen, Swiatek Ostapenko. Ostapenko has a 3-0 lead in the head-to-head. How have those three matches, how has Ostapenko won those three matches?
All of them were before the 37 win streak for Swiatek. Well, one of them was actually directly. Yes, one of them directly. One of them was the last loss. Of course, in 2019, 2021, it wasn't really the Swiatek that we know today. But there, you could argue that more or less it was that. Dubai was one of the matches. What else? Grass, right? And what was the third one? Indian Wells. So I guess all of these are, well, they're not similar conditions, but like Grass and Dubai, you have very fast courts, and Indian Wells, something where the ball really stays up. And Ostapenko is just able, obviously, to hit through it all, just like Swiatek, really. And I think Ostapenko has a good skill set to beat Iga for like maybe two reasons. Well, one thing is that she has that amazing return ability, to just step into and crush weak second serves, which certainly in Iga's case, even if she's improved the first delivery, the second is still a weakness. And also, I think Ostapenko really likes these matchups with like Goff, Swiatek. I don't know if really there's anyone else of note, because I could come up with like maybe Sheriff or Zidansek, but they're probably not good enough for this to be really a thing. But these matchups where you have to like go hard and flat at the forehand side, she has been really good in these. And I think that she has an actual big chance to beat Swiatek. It just really depends, because Ostapenko might very well lose this one 6-love, and no one will bat an eye. It's just the sort of player that she is, right?
Yeah, she's certainly she's very streaky. I mean, we talk about Daniel Medvedev being streaky in terms of matches and titles and months at various points in his career. She's streaky in one match in itself. Like, she'll streak in one direction in terms of she'll lose a set 6-love, and then she'll go and win the next set 6-1. That is Ostapenko, and often why she's pretty popular. And I know that Jonah, for example, who we were talking about earlier, he's got his ticket courtesy of Jelena, so that's nice. Jelena decked out in a bright sort of fluorescent green. My screen is still, I can't quite describe it. It's like I've been consuming lots and lots of something or another, some substance, and I can barely see. So I don't quite know why that is the case. So maybe I just need to turn my TV on and off again. I'll try that, but no reason why that should work. But anyway, so we'll see, hopefully, if that will fix itself. I mean, I might just be able to make out the ball, but it's almost like back in the olden days when we used to use aerials for our reception. It's almost like the aerial has been blown down and you're relying on it like that. So anyway, that's the German cable network that I'm using to connect to this match, but I can see that they're still warming up anyway, so at least that. This is the final women's match of the day. Final match of the day, of course. We've had Karolina Mukova progress. We've had Chastea. So it's Chastea against Mukova. Is that one of the quarterfinals?
Yeah.
And then the other one, of course, will be Coco Gauff awaits the winner here because she won in 3 sets over Wozniacki earlier. I did post a video on YouTube as well of a sort of 12-minute chat that Owen for Popcorn Tennis and I, we had after that match. So make sure you go check out that if you haven't done so already. And of course, for those of you just tuning in, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So yeah.
Yeah, I watched the pre-match interviews as well, and they were as interesting as all pre-match interviews are. Iga basically said that she has a plan but doesn't want to talk about it now.
Yeah.
And just let's see if it works. But I get it. At least it will give Renee Stubbs something to talk to Iga about after the match as well. If Iga wins, right? She's gonna say, so before the match you didn't want to tell me what your game plan was. Can you tell me now? And that already is half the job done. So unless someone else is gonna be doing the on-court interview.
I had that exact conversation really in pretty much those terms with Paula Badosa earlier this year during Madrid when it was coming up to her match against Coco Gauff. And so like the day before we had the press conference and I was like, what's the not exactly what's the plan, because I know they're not going to respond to that, but what are your thoughts? And she was obviously being quite guarded before the match. And then afterwards, when we spoke, like in the press conference, I sort of referenced it and I said, well, we had a chat a couple of days ago and you said you had a plan, but you weren't going to reveal it. She then puts me on the spot. It wasn't the most difficult spot, but when you're in a press conference and you're quite new to the environment and you never know, and you've got a press officer sort of staring at you as well as the player, she put me on the spot when she said, well, now you know. And I said, I think I know. I'll see if I can maybe play it, at least the audio. I don't know if you can hear this.
Is it going on already?
Can you hear it?
No. Not a word, not a sound, in fact.
Anyway, it's out there in the ether, and you can check it out. I'll post it in the live chat. So if you do want to hear that, you can. But anyway,
that was the match when Gauff made like 50 forehand unforced errors. So
yeah, exactly.
And it wasn't really like putting pressure on the Gauff forehand. Like she was just literally going there with anything. And
that's exactly what I said. I said, in fact, when I got it right. You can get these things wrong a lot of the time, but fortunately, during this particular exchange, I got it right because I said you weren't even attacking the forehand. I said you were just giving it.
Good stuff then.
Yeah, no, and Terry said he saw it at the time. He thought it was funny, and it's there in the live chat anyway. And I got it right, but you get these things wrong a lot of the time. But fortunately, on that occasion, my TV's still very fuzzy, by the way. So you might have to talk me through this.
Ostapenko just got it right for sure on this backhand cross court. It's insane timing and power on this one.
I know what I'm going to do, and I'm optimistic this will be a good solution. I'm going to go to the website and watch it there. It could be something to do with my TV.
So Swiatek is 15-30 down. I missed the first 2 points, frankly, because I was waiting for that Badosa.
Sorry.
However,
I'll try and make it work later on. Anyway, I think I'm going to succeed here with, by the way, that Italian player Paolini's. Interesting. I'm just mentioning her because when you go to the website, there's a commercial that she's always in for Nike, or it's actually Tennis Point. Yeah, we're on the website of this.
Jasmine Paolini, really?
Yeah. Well, I think it's her. Anyway, if it's not her, it's a lookalike.
I mean,
does she not wear Nike?
I don't know. As you probably know by now, I have no clue about clothes and like brands, but Paolini being in a commercial is just kind of surprising to me. But okay,
I mean, she's a name. By the way, the website is equally bad too. So I can just about make it out. It's just really weird to explain. It's like psychedelic. I'll get the score up at least on our screen, and fingers crossed at some point.
Free drugs, basically. Then
that's what it's sort of. I imagine it's like after consuming some extracurricular stuff.
Yeah, so far very patchy as you would expect. Ostapenko just locked in like a huge return and won the point, but the previous two she just netted the first shot basically. It's going to be like this. It's not going to be the most exciting match, I think, in terms of the dynamics. We talked about it with Mario today on the first serve, where he basically said that he's not that interested in this match because he just doesn't like watching Ostapenko.
I know.
I said that I sometimes like watching her, it really depends, but I'm more interested probably in the outcome of this match than the actual play, because you kind of know what's going to happen. And Ostapenko tries to launch a huge second serve return, and that's it. If she makes the shot, she probably wins the point. That's how it's going to be. But so I think from Iga's perspective, it's actually kind of interesting what she had in mind. Saying that she actually has something different for today.
Yeah, at least that's
Because
what she
what do
inferred.
you have against Ostapenko, right? Like what are you going to prepare really?
Somehow
Um,
frustrate her. Somehow.
maybe she's going to I don't know, take a bit off her first serve and just make sure that she lands it most of the time. Sounds reasonable, you know. Maybe she's well. Otherwise, what can you really do? You're probably gonna react. She is, of course, a fantastic mover in defense, so that's gonna help out.
Yeah, it's interesting that she said that because normally that's the kind of thing you might hear from an underdog. When you've got somebody coming
No,
up
but
against
that's
Iga.
because of how the question was phrased, you
Yeah,
know.
of course.
Because
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the question was phrased about the 0-3 head to head, and so the question was, what are you gonna change today?
Was the
Like, what's
zero
the
three mentioned in the question?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's not weird. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
agree. But yeah, the way the question was phrased, it was literally, "What are you gonna do today in order not to lose to Ostapenko again?" And another big return from the Latvian gives her a break point now.
Novak Djokovic, by the way, has joined the live chat. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have not.
I'm going to
Um,
win the US Open, he says. So
on
that's
the
great.
last year on these Polish streams, I had Zhizhen Zhang join the chat a few times. It was, of course, also not real Zhizhen Zhang. It
It's
was
still a
pretty
bit
funny
a bit
still.
more believable. I have seen on Game to Love, and this is the real guy. What's his name? The Ukrainian guy who's also got a YouTube channel.
Ilya Marchenko.
Yeah, and I've seen him really join the live chat on Game to
Mhm.
Love. I think it was during maybe even been the final of the Australian Open in 2022, the men's final.
Back yesterday, sorry, not yesterday, but by the way, Ostapenko just broke. And
Wow.
last year I think I had because I started doing these like spaces on tennis Twitter for challenger events, and we did it
Mhm.
like 3 or 4 times only. But one time I had Michał Dembek, whose career high is I think about 590 or something like that. 462. He joined once as well.
Okay.
So it was pretty cool.
I mean, you might think I've got a bit carried away with the wow there, but it's just because it's because of the 3-0 that I'm also going wow that she's broken immediately. And I wonder if psychologically that makes Iga a little bit more anxious going into this match than if it was sort of 2-1 or
I mean,
whatever.
you never want to play Ostapenko. I don't think it's really a head-to-head thing. I just think, she knows what sort of tennis Ostapenko plays and how tough it's going to be if she just redlines.
Iga is somebody as well who can get agitated and you can get under her skin, mainly just because if you beat her, that's that's a good way to get under her skin. But yeah, I mean, she held it together. There was a narrative building that I know that Iga was a bit annoyed with in Madrid because she actually got
Wow.
asked, "Oh, what's going on? What's happened?"
I
Tell me.
mean, there was just a ridiculous exchange of forehands cross court, and it seemed like Iga has the upper hand. She eventually got to her like more maybe comfortable stroke with the forehand down the line, and then Ostapenko just slams it for this backhand cross court short angles return winner. I don't think she actually meant it like that either. Like maybe not fully like that, but yeah, just a ridiculously fast paced rally. Maybe I was late earlier. I was going to assume that maybe part of Iga's like new game plan for this could be, maybe mixing it up a touch or something, just throw
Yeah.
off Ostapenko's timing, but it doesn't seem like so. For now, it seems like she's just waiting for the first ball to pounce on, and that's how she's putting pressure on Ostapenko so far. Obviously, in the first game, it did not work all that well. Part of it was the return of the Latvian, of course.
Go on. I think you're going to answer this question, right?
I don't see it on the screen right now
Okay,
because
this
I'm
one's
watching
from
the stream,
Sean.
but I will get
Just
back to it after the point. Lots of net scores going around, but it stays actually. Do you think you guys intimidated by Osto's brush ways? Maybe. Um, what else? Who else does she really play? That Huh. I guess there's no other player really that does it like Ostapenko, right?
No, I mean,
Uh,
one of the matches I was thinking that Iga got quite stressed at during this year was the United Cup match against Jessica Pegula. I'm not saying that Pegula and Ostapenko have a huge amount in common, but I know
yeah.
that day Pegula was, redlining almost, and the speed of the court was, I think, Swiatek was having a bit of difficulty with it. So I think it was her first and maybe her only match in wherever it was, Sydney, I think, during the United Cup. And I think Pegula had been playing there for a few days and blah, 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 blah. My stream now has completely died. So,
By the way, I will rewind this because apparently these microphones in the coach boxes, like they are really strong, and I could hear that Tomasz Wiktorowski was like talking
Mhm.
just like full sentence to
Okay, cool. That'll be good
one of
to
the
know.
other coaches, but I couldn't hear it. But I'll rewind to it, I guess.
Yeah, go and try and see what he had to say, especially if he's giving full sentences as early on as this. It could be quite interesting. Ostapenko in a bit of trouble here, 15:30. Um, yeah, great to have. The chat is very lively. Even if we haven't got a huge amount of people tuning in, there's a lot of coming and going and toing and froing with different thoughts on this.
That's interesting.
What do
I
you
had to
say?
mute you. I had to mute you there for a
Good,
moment.
good.
And he said to I think to Maciej Ryszczuk, the a fitness coach of Iga, that she basically came out as if she was playing Djokovic, and that's sort of stressed. That Iga is so stressed as if she was playing Djokovic. That's what he
Okay,
said.
okay. That's sort of almost to
Yeah,
relax her a little bit. Yeah,
but
that's
that's
cool.
what he said to her fitness coach, not to her. Like it was just
Oh, he said
their
it's a fitness coach. I've got it right.
yeah,
Okay.
that was their conversation literally. He was not saying that to her. No.
Um, I think also on the other side, by the way, it's one game also, so Iga's broken back immediately, which is obviously good news for her and her fans. Maybe also Ostapenko goes into these matches quite relaxed, in a kind of a dangerous relaxed as well, in that she's still going for it, but she's not anxious like she might be when she's playing like somebody outside the top 50, and she feels the necessity to bring it
And
and to win the match.
Ostapenko, she's
Yeah,
never anxious.
she doesn't get, she gets annoyed.
Yeah, but like she plays basically. I think she has this idea that when she plays well, she's gonna beat everyone, and it's
When
kind of
it doesn't
true.
work out, which it sometimes doesn't, she gets pretty stressed out, no?
Mm, yeah, but like not because of the opponent, right? She's
I
not
can.
really ever afraid of anyone. Like it's
No, she's
just
not afraid. No, but I
yeah,
think she's.
she just knows that it's her level every time that decides the match.
I just
Well, of
heard.
course, not every time. You can actually be troubling to her.
I just heard the crowd cheer in a big way that backhand winner, and I say that backhand when I got it on
Yes,
the replay. It's a big
yes,
cheer.
it was ridiculous, and this is a point after which I was sort of like, why does Mario not like watching Ostapenko?
Yeah, I was surprised with that take. I actually put myself on the stream for like half a second just to go like this and then come back out again
I
after
didn't
he
see
said it.
that, but
He might. It might be the antiques that he finds tiresome. I don't know.
great slice serve from me. Got to go up 30-15. Yeah, I think that there's definitely a degree of stress that Świątek got in the Rybakina matchup this year
Mm.
after losing to her a few times. I think Ostapenko is a little different because there's like the wounds are not as fresh. They have already been healed, I think, since Dubai, and especially as she probably feels like only really Dubai is a relevant matchup. I mean, it's a relevant previous match. Otherwise, it was really back in the day, and but
Hmm.
no one wants to play Ostapenko. You never really want to play someone where like you're not fully in control of the proceedings. Even if you play well, you're actually not sure if you're gonna win. You're actually not sure if you're even gonna have any rhythm. And yeah, if Świątek keeps serving her second serve like this, she might be in trouble. Although Ostapenko now misses it by like 2 meters. So 40-30. And one game for Ostapenko already is good news for our friend from the previous stream, Mateja, who wanted the first set to be over 7.5 games.
Yes. True.
And that's another good like sliced serve down the tee from Swiatek. Not too big when it comes to the speed, but certainly very precise and good shape on it. 2-1 up.
Yes, that's nice for Iga to shake off that dodgy beginning that she had. But winners galore, which is boding well for the quality of the match. Jake is certainly on Iga's side. But at Ghosty and I guess to some extent myself, I actually don't mind who wins. I think for the tournament, there's an excitement that would build regarding Coco against Iga, an understandable one. A sort of, that would certainly grace a final. But I also think Ostapenko is a lot of fun. So
Yeah, I actually.
Another crazy Ostapenko Grand Slam win would just be funny.
No, it would not be anything that I wouldn't want. However, I have to admit that recently I've developed a bit of this feeling that I would like Swiatek to stay at world number one for the whole year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think for that to happen, obviously she has to she has to outperform Sabalenka at the U.S. Open,
Or
and
equal?
then depending on no equal, then Sabalenka gets it.
Oh, I thought it. I don't know,
No,
but
it's no. It's Sabalenka by 11 points if they're gonna reach an equal
so
stage
if
of
they
the
both
event.
go out in the fourth round, Sabalenka becomes world number one.
11 points. If they both go out at the same stage of the event, it's Sabalenka by 11 points.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if Swiatek loses today, we are already guaranteed Sabalenka
Yeah.
at number one.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically that I would like to see that. So that's why I've sort of started rooting a bit more for Iga. But yeah, if like Sabalenka loses in the fourth round, then I wouldn't really mind Swiatek losing to anyone after that. Although I also picked her to win the event, so I want to be right at the same time. Well, Ostapenko, with her, I definitely considered this a problem round for her, but with Ostapenko, I was just uncertain if she was ever even gonna get there. Right? It's
Sure.
Ostapenko we're talking about, and she
And
played
she had issues.
three.
She won 7-5 in the
Exactly,
third against Avanesian in the second round, for example. I think it was a three-set
exactly.
match in the previous round as well.
I mean, it was a free set match every time with Paolini, with Avanesian, and with Pera. And
And Paulini is a tough first round for her, considering Paulini's just come off a tournament win.
indeed, and I picked Paolini to win that one.
Okay, yeah. I think I did have this in my bracket. I had Ostapenko playing Iga. And then I had Iga playing Coco as well.
That's going to be a bit wide for Ostapenko. Yeah, just a tiny bit on the close call. So love 30.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to go
Yeah,
make a tea.
the servers are probably not going to be winning as many games as usual in a match here. So a potential break maybe isn't that impactful, but a 3-1 lead is. Fantastic counter from Ostapenko, and I think Swiatek just misses the defensive forehand. She really exploded into that forehand as well, Ostapenko, which maybe isn't something that you often see from her. I mean, exploded. Obviously, she has explosive power, but in terms of the movement, she's just a little maybe more static generally. Yeah, I mean, hard flat pace going at the Swiatek forehand. That's what Ostapenko is doing. That's what Ostapenko is playing here. It works again. She gets another forced error. Yeah, like if Swiatek wins the tournament from here, it's very likely that it would be a bit of a nightmare path with Ostapenko, always a tough matchup for her. Then Goff, who she just lost to, and obviously potentially Muchova, who gave her so much trouble in at Roland Garros, and also Sabalenka maybe in the final, a match for the world number one spot. But Ostapenko is this incredible point here. Lots of angle work, really like using the full chord geometry and Then eventually the forehand down the line, just absolutely stunning over the high net. And it's gonna be 2-all as serve on the line gets Ostapenko there. So our friend Mateja from the previous live stream is happy now because he just won $600, I think.
I hear a lot of cheers and claps. I mean, as I say, my screen is very fuzzy, so I make out replays not too bad. I can just see a full-hand cross-court exchange right now, and then a down the line winner, it looks like, from Ostapenko. But when it's actually in the point, I can barely see what's happening. I don't know, Jake, did you see what I just put across the screen there? Maybe Jake is just listening to us rather than watching, but I put a can of Guinness going across because he was talking about Guinness yesterday on the stream, I think. And that can has been in. There we go. Look, yeah, Ghosty noticed it. That can has been in my fridge for about a month. Just because, as I say, occasionally I just fancy a Guinness, and that's there for that occasion. But right now I'm on the tea. Bearing in mind I was on the beer last night, I thought it might be a good idea to steer clear. Even if I'm not playing, even if I'm not working, I am playing tennis at midday. So, Jake, he had 3. Yeah, I think Jake, you're better on the Guinness than I am. Jake, did you catch the United Arsenal match? Because he's a United fan as well. I thought Swiatek might make her move in that previous game, by the way, for what it's worth, even though I can't see the match that clearly. Although, Ghost, it is a little bit easier for you to be up because I'm guessing, about 9:30 where you are, maybe even 8:30.
It's a nasty combination from Swiatek now. Honestly, I thought that the backhand down the line might win it for her already, but Ostapenko got the ball back, and then of course Swiatek, just not slowing down at all, takes the forehand super early. Yeah, I mean, the quality has been pretty absurd so far. You don't really see that many, unforced errors, even though both players are like trying to take it super early. I guess maybe that's the strategy for Swiatek. She's trying to play it sort of a la, I don't know, Rybakina dominates the Ostapenko matchup, I think. Just basically hitting heavier, harder than her, which seems impossible, but it can be done.
I think it's the only time I've seen Ostapenko in the flesh. I saw her play Paolo Badosa in Rome, in what was the match that certainly put Badosa beyond the threshold of being fit. I remember several rallies in that match where Badosa's like leaning into the flower bed, kind of struggling physically. And at the time, I just thought she was struggling because of being pushed around the court. Because that was after that match, she said, "I'm pulling out of the French Open, I believe, because of a back injury." I was shocked to see her on the practice courts of Wimbledon just before the tournament, and shocked to see her enter the tournament, bearing in mind the nature of that injury. And probably slightly less shocked because she then took a few more weeks off after Wimbledon and tried to get back for the US Open, and then obviously pulling out on the eve of the tournament. But that was she has played maybe one match since that Rome encounter, but that was the match.
Wimbledon, she played twice, right?
Did she won a round at Wimbledon? Okay,
I think so, and then retired in the second.
But that was the match that basically was a back injury like that is clearly a wear and tear thing rather than it suddenly occurring at some point in the match. But it was the Ostapenko pushing her from side to side that finally pushed her over the limit. And that was a 3-set match. I think she won the second set, but yeah.
They're going to be playing that I Want to Dance with Somebody every single time now, right? Because
why are they playing it right now, are they?
Yeah, Striker sang it, and
I know Striker sang it, yeah.
And now they're going to just put it on every single time.
It's funny because he's pretty young, so of course he would have been. It was about 20 years before he was born that song was out in the charts.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone knows it.
Yeah. I'm not saying they don't, but it's still quite funny. A pop classic from the mid 80s.
If I went to like a club or a disco party or whatever, that's what I would dance to rather than the songs of today. I actually wouldn't dance to anything probably unless I was heavily intoxicated.
Yeah, I cannot
But
imagine. I can't
it's a
imagine.
much better chance for me if you put on something from the 80s rather than.
Okay.
I love how mental it is that we are all awake at 3, 4 a.m. watching
I
tennis, says
know.
Jake. Yeah, I mean, my parents tomorrow, well, today, well, yeah, in a few hours, they are both teachers and they have this like beginning of the year, thing. And
Okay.
by the time we finish, it's possible that like my mom will already be up, which is pretty crazy if you think about it, right?
Yeah. Certainly, if it goes 3 sets, there's a good chance of that.
Yeah,
If
I
it goes
think she
straight
wakes up at
sets.
like 6 a.m. usually. So
I actually think, though, in terms of the scoreboard, at least, this is actually not too bad a start for Iga. The concern was when she lost her serve in the first game that then the the memories of those 3 defeats in the row might come flooding back. But now she's steadied the ship by breaking back
yeah,
immediately.
serving
Serve, serve.
probably not that important here with like how huge they will both be going on second serve return.
So merely just having a 3-2 advantage, therefore, could also be significant.
Yeah, like that's what I was mentioning earlier when Świątek had this like minor chance to go 3-1 up, that it doesn't really matter that it would be with a break, it would just matter that it's 3-1.
Two games, yeah.
Yeah. That said, there's a couple of 3 points for Ostapenko on serve now.
That's nice for her. I was trying to choose a word for Caroline Wozniacki earlier in a headline. So I had Coco Gauff overcomes, and then I did an adjective to describe Wozniacki, but also her performance today. And
Resurgent, for example.
yeah,
uh,
there was a couple that went through, you know, but I ended up going for a word which is dogmatic. I don't know if you know this one.
Dogmatic, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I understand what a dogma is, and like, yeah.
I wonder if it comes from that. Maybe, yeah. It's like stubborn. It's like stubborn. So it might come from dogma. I probably does actually, because there is a link, I think, between dogma and stubborn.
It
No, I
could,
mean,
yeah. It could,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like a belief set, isn't it? A doctrine, yeah. It probably does. It's like stuck in your ways, boom. So yeah, I went for dogmatic, but I think it's maybe can be a little bit unflattering, as I see Swiatek now has a break point. She didn't waste those other points you mentioned before. She probably would have broken by now.
That should be another 3 points in servo. Yeah, like it wasn't technically free, but a +1 forehand pretty easy after Świątek just barely put the return back in play. Oh, it's interesting that Jelena Ostapenko is sponsored by Duracell. David Ferrer should have been.
Yeah, Nadal maybe in some respects.
Yeah, Ferrer probably like was just a little smaller, and that's why he had this. Well, maybe Diego Schwartzman then. Like they have this more Duracell bunny feel to them.
Yeah, true.
Nadal is a bit too strong and like just large for that. He's obviously not large in terms of being tall, very tall, or being very heavy, but in terms of being muscular.
Iga does have a sponsor pretty much everywhere, but actually I don't even know who it is, and it's carried over because obviously now she's with On, but before she was with Asics. But I remember her having it when she was with Asics as well. It was a separate sponsor. I mean,
PZU, PZU.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Is that
Yeah,
a bank?
it's a Polish insurance company.
Insurance company. There you go. Yeah.
Państwowy Zakład Ubezpieczeń, I think, which would be like national insurance company. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, there it is. PZU.
It's the most popular insurance company in Poland, I think. Anyway, she's just broken. There was Ostapenko got some advantage again with the serve, but her approach shot was not nowhere near good enough, and the pass was fairly easy for Iga actually. I mean, Ostapenko's antics are so hilarious, and fantastic serve from Świątek as well. That's like this sort of JJ Wolf, type of sliced serve down the tee, which goes so far out towards the other service box. And Ostapenko is obviously saying that it was out and that the line calling is wrong, which is a classic for her.
Mm-hmm.
You still struggling?
Yeah. I'm just playing around with this to see how. I'm just watching a replay now of the Goyo Djokovic match, and the screen looks perfectly fine. So something wrong with I think it is them as well, rather than my TV, because I checked also online. It's their feed.
So you enjoyed it so much that you're now watching the replay of Goyo Djokovic instead of live tennis. Wow.
Yeah. It was such a classic match.
Was it Borna who got you so invested, or was it Novak's performance?
Oh, it's Borna, of course. Seeing those 90% of his forehands going along.
Yeah, very quick game for Świątek, so 5-2 up now. A 6-2, 6-3 set. That would be quite a harsh result for Ostapenko here, given how she's played, I think. But it is what it is.
And now we are at the crucial point, because actually we're going to get 8 games at least, aren't we? So yeah, because remember it was 7.5, wasn't it? So yeah, we're good.
By the time both players won 2 games, it was already.
Yeah.
It was only 6-1 or 6 love that wasn't getting Matea there.
I've got it. I think it's back to normal for some reason. So that's good news for me. And I'll probably move to Google rather than TNNS for the score update, because Google and me are about in sync. Whereas I put TNNS on because they were basically the same as you. They're about 15 seconds ahead.
I can switch to a stream that would be a bit behind as well. But we'll figure it out, I think.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah, of course, is the main sponsor for Iga, and yeah, as you guys are saying, Ben Shelton and Iga Świątek are their main players for now. So this is already a huge week for on, I think.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And yeah, Infosys also has their patch on her shirt now.
So her and Rafa, because Rafa's just signed up with Infosys as well.
Yeah, I think Świątek is also a fresh sign up.
Yeah. Okay. So it's probably the last couple of weeks.
I seem to remember a tweet or a social media post from her about this, like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Rafa did the same, and a guy I had on the show the other day in New York. He also tweeted something in Times Square of Rafa on a big screen doing some forehands and backhands in an electronic manner, and it was just ultimately for Infosys.
Here's Świątek with the total obliteration of Ostapenko's second serve.
The return, the dozens of return stances that we have on the tour that are, but that was a very tame second serve. The dozens of return stances we have on tour, I think, is really cool. And one of the things I really love about tennis is these, whether it's the Swiatek, there's something about, look at that return stance. I know it's just it's kind of cute in a way. She's sort of just crouched over, you know. You've got that Ryan itch as well, bobbing from side to side. I think it's really cool and funny and unique. I really love what's his name? Holger Rune is just trying to eat the ball up before it even comes on the rise sometimes. That's a nice ace there for Ostapenko, much needed. The Medvedev sort of rocking back and forth, you know, like this is kind of funny. Yeah, just different return. I mean, 50% of the tour, there's nothing sort of notable about the return stance. But the Novak sort of upright, the Roger Federer spinning the racket.
Yeah, personally, I didn't really look at that. Although the only one I guess I could say I like is the Nishikori, you know, left leg in front, like very heavily in front stance, which is now basically the same for Watanuki as well. Yeah, some good serving helping out Ostapenko in this game, with, you know, kind of ironically, and it looks like that's how she's also gonna clinch it. Yeah, 5-3. She's going to her bench now to change her racket, I guess. Yeah, because she's going to be returning with new balls now. And right now she was just serving with them.
Who did Cam Noy play in Madrid this year? Let me just have a quick look. There was somebody he played who had a really funky return, and I spoke to Cam.
Watanuki.
Yeah, okay, it's Watanuki, yeah.
Exactly, Watanuki, yeah. 6-4, 7-6 or something like that, yeah.
And I spoke to him afterwards and I said, that return's kind of funky. Is it off-putting in a way? And he was like, it is kind of, and actually it was his word, actually. I think he used the word funky. It's
basically the Nishikori return position and return stance. And when it comes to the position, he kind of mixes up between just standing very deep inside the court or 2 meters outside the court. Like there's no middle ground really between these two for Watanuki. And in terms of the position, it's like exactly the same as Nishikori. So the left leg way in front. Yeah, another example of like insane timing. There was a stat on my screen, so I think I'm going to rewind to it because I'm not sure if it was all points or just
average rally length.
Yeah, but was it
3?
No, it's just average rally. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was on Swiatek's serve or in general. So, but yeah, it tells you obviously what.
Oh, what a forehand winner there from Ostapenko! So flat, it barely bounced up.
I'm gonna grab a screenshot for a tweet later, I think, after this point, too.
I mean, look at that. That barely picked up off the surface. I'm not a top spin guy in terms of the way I play.
You're gonna see another nasty forehand again.
Good. I want this to another break back. I want this to be listen. Actually, ultimately, I probably don't really mind who wins. But I want this to be a topsy-turvy 3-setter. Despite it being...
I want this to be a match, you know. I want this to be the best match today, which I guess only really because what delivered today? Wozniacki Goff? Was it the only one?
Wozniacki Goff was pretty good. Even probably at 3-1 Goff in the third, you're still thinking. I agreed with what Owen said to me afterwards, in that he felt as though it was always within Goff's grasp, and that she sort of, you know, she went down an early break in the first and the third set, but it always felt as though Goff was more or less in control. I did get that, but there was still tension there. Oh, just went long there, Jelena. And Swiatek was panicking for sure. 30 all. So the 3 people in Iga's team, there's the psychological, I don't know what the right word is, but Daria Abramovic, isn't it? The sort of, what's the word for her in English? Mental coach?
Sports psychologist, mental coach, yeah.
Yeah. The fitness person, who's that you were referring to earlier that was chatting away?
Maciej Reszczuk.
Okay. And the coach is the one with the white hat and the beard, right?
Yes. He was obviously formerly Agnieszka Radwańska's coach for
you
years.
lucky person, Iga, with that net cord. I mean, it was just mean. Set point.
After the set is over, I'm gonna tell you about this drama recently, including Maciej Ryszczuk on Twitter. But that's after the set is over.
Is he on Twitter? Is he?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Okay, I may even follow him. Sometimes these conversations happen, and I then go look them up, and it's like, oh, I follow him. Anyway, okay, I thought it was done for a second. I don't know if that clipped the net. Landon, I'll talk us through this point, although I'm not going to talk you personally through it because you've seen it already. 40-30, Iga Swiatek to serve. Honestly, I'm not sure if it's a second serve right now. I'll soon find out.
First.
It is a first, yeah. I thought it might well be. And if she gets it in, the return is long and the set is done. And how crucial will that net cord turn out to be come the end of this match? Well, we'll soon find out. Iga's won the first set 6-3. It has finished pretty quickly, largely because the points were short, because obviously 6-3 doesn't necessarily mean a short set, but I think it's probably been about half an hour, although I probably should check that. So what was it? What's this this fallout? Oh, it's 40 minutes. And what's this this fallout you're talking about on social media?
So this was a discussion between him and the coach of Magdalinette, actually, Mark Gellert, where they both started talking about the balls at the US Open. And, Iga likes them. Iga likes them. Magda does not. Yeah, it was like 3 days ago. Okay. And, Mark Gellert basically started saying some very weird stuff like, why? Because he said that the balls are not meant for this sort of play. Like the balls are meant for men's play, like best of fives, for example. That's what it says apparently on the package or something. And he said that, the balls are not good. Ryszczuk says that they're great. And then Gellert says something like, your girl. He called Swiatek your girl, like in regards to Ryszczuk. And he says that your girl is sponsored. Oh, yeah. And this is a screenshot because these comments are no longer there, I think.
Oh, they've been taken off Twitter. Okay.
Yes. I think, and this is Geller's. Yeah, your girl is sponsored by Red Bull, but I don't expect she grows some wings. Yes. And, this is I see an early grab, like an early grabbed screenshot, but it went on for longer. And Ryszczuk would get 150 likes on the next comment, which was basically accusing Gellert of what are you talking about, with my girl? And also he said, why are you bringing out this Red Bull thing? Like, what is that all about? And he got 200 or 150 likes, whereas Gellert would not get any, basically. And after a few days, though, these comments from Ryszczuk were taken off. Yeah, so I'm... but yeah, that was quite interesting that a person from Swiatek's box would argue publicly on Twitter with Linette's coach.
He's a feisty character, this fitness coach, it seems, and so is Gellert.
Seems like it was Gellert more of a feisty character there. Yeah.
Where is Mark Gellert from? Where's he? What nationality is he?
British or American? I'm not sure. I think American because Linette is based in the States. So no, actually British. Yeah, so I was right the first time. Okay. But because she is based in the States, that's why I assumed. But yeah, he's British. But basically Ryszczuk only didn't really like the fact that he said your girl or something like that, and he thought it was, I don't know, maybe patronizing or something. It was a bit weird from both sides, I think, but still, I think just something to mention, as a bit of a fun fact, I suppose. It was 3 days ago, and right now...
he's only got 70 followers. I'm guessing he's either new to Twitter or he's barely used it.
Yeah, he's I don't think he uses it all that much. And also, as you can see, he is based in Florida. So yeah, he is British, but just based in Florida.
I'm going to follow him now as well as the fitness guys. Well, I didn't follow either. He follows one person. I wonder if it's Justin Bieber.
It has to be Magda, right? Or not?
It doesn't say he's not following anyone anymore. Maybe it was just following one person at one point, or
once. I don't know. It's anyway very cryptic. Okay, let's get back to what's in front of us. But okay, I didn't know about that little exchange. That's good to know.
I thought it was going to be Magdalinette that he was following, but well, maybe not.
I mean, it says he's following one person. One of my favorite accounts on Twitter that's pretty dormant these days, but it has been lively in the past, is called The Tweet of God. And it's God on Twitter, basically. And it's got like 10 million followers. And it's just it's a parody. It's obviously a parody. I mean, it's
no. How do you know?
Anyway, the funny thing is, The Tweet of God follows one person, Justin Bieber.
That's why I said Justin Bieber. There was just a ridiculous exchange here as well. You know, that it seemed like every single shot they would go faster of the bounce. They would go faster, and at some point they couldn't really. And Ostapenko found this inside-out forehand winner.
Nice.
And now a beautiful inside in as well for 40-15. Obviously, quite vital for her to win the at least some of the first few games here.
Yeah, otherwise we could race away from her.
Not to run away from her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Harnessed her power. I like that. I like that phrase from Peaches.
Did I overhear or did I misinterpret? Was there another exchange between this Gabriel guy and Vance again?
No, I think we misinterpreted it. I think it was Jake talking about that previous, one exchange that happened.
Yeah.
Which obviously was, just.
But I do think there may have been an exchange between him and Owen as well in the past.
Maybe. I mean, I think Craig Gabriel has had a number of moments when people started calling him out.
Very unbecoming, if you know that.
And I know. And he's just not replying to it in the right way, I think. I don't know. Personally, I do get some hate comments, I think, as well on Twitter, but I mostly don't reply to them since there's no reason to, I think. When they're unreasonable, I've had things that I did on Twitter, like that I said that were stupid before, especially at the beginning of my of my using of it. There was this one occurrence at the Next Gen Finals 2019 when I phrased something very poorly, and sometimes you have to take it on the chin, and eventually I had to say, okay, sorry, and deleted it and etc.
It's a really nice cross-court forehand there from Ostapenko that landed so close to the net, if that makes sense. It was such a short, it was almost really badly short, but it was actually really nicely curved.
Yes, Jane, that's who we were talking about, because yesterday Jake started talking about it in the chat, and we weren't sure if this was something new, but apparently he was just talking about that thing from a few months ago.
Yeah.
I think, some people are just not to be even talked about, frankly, and
it doesn't really make much sense because I can understand somebody being annoyed they didn't get a press pass and they felt as though they deserved it, but he's getting the press passes, so he should be in a happy place.
Yeah, for whatever reason, he feels like this is the biggest thing of I don't know, the biggest appreciation that you can get, a press pass. If you're getting that, you're the man, basically.
Mind you, I am someone who's frequently mentioning on the channel how we've got a press pass for San Diego and we've had one for Berlin and Birmingham and Madrid, etc. I want to get as many as I can. I do like that for the channel, and I do like it for myself too. But yeah, it's just unbecoming from someone who's clearly part of the old school establishment and will always get a press pass just because nobody.
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference, when you're just starting out, as an outlet. When you're just starting out, every press pass is going to be great for you. I don't know. when I applied for my first press pass to a challenger, I was surprised I got it, right?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, which also
it
happened.
Was then, yeah, and it was then that I found out basically there's no chance you're not gonna get it in 95% of the events. But at first it also seemed great to me, but yeah, after some time, if of course becomes very normal for you, and if you work for something like a pretty big outlet like Craig Gabriel, like of course you're gonna get it to
Who does he work for?
I don't even know, something Aussie, but like WTA 250 or whatever it was in San Diego that year, of course you're gonna get it. So yeah, basically, we people feeling that they're entitled and like they aren't really. Anyway, Jelena Ostapenko, Iga Świątek, second game.
They're reduced now, at least. I mean,
yeah, she manages to get it
on the Swiatek forehand, but other than that, it's been Ostapenko bringing it. She's constantly having to dry herself down, so it's pretty humid out there, I imagine.
Ooh,
is the roof closed, by the way?
That's the net court from the opening set now coming back, and well, the universe has given something back to Ostapenko.
If Ostapenko breaks, then in particular, yeah.
Yes. If she manages to win that next point, then sure.
I don't know if the roof is closed. Maybe Peaches might even be there, by the way. Oh, yeah. That's even funnier because it's a funny angle it takes off the net afterwards. Latvians and Poles are pretty good friends now.
I think there's no real
connection. Non-Russian Latvians, if that makes sense. I mean,
yeah, but I think there's no real connection between Poles and Latvians, really. Like, it's not a neighbor of Poland.
I'm just thinking of the three Baltic states probably as a one, maybe Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia.
Yeah, I think of Lithuania, there's an obvious connection because Vilnius, it used to be in Poland. We have a lot of Polish heroes, like, I don't know, Adam Mickiewicz, the poet who was born in Vilnius. And also there's a couple of landscapes in Vilnius that are connected to Poland. There's a huge Polish colony, basically, in Vilnius. Whereas Latvia, Estonia, I just feel like, they're basically random countries to Poland and the other way around, so...
We have another early break for Jelena Ostapenko, and it was it will go down as an unforced error, and I think it should do, but it was 25% forced. But I would tick the unforced error box. There was a bit of venom there on that shot from Ostapenko, but Swiatek didn't necessarily have to hit it skyward. So she breaks.
There's a lot of 3 points coming her way as well now with the serve.
Yeah, and there's another one there. Yeah, exactly. Very similar to the one that cost her the break, actually. 30 love. Now, remember, of course, at the beginning of the match, Ostapenko broke, but she just couldn't consolidate. Let's see if she does this time at 30 love.
Yeah, but it does make sense because, like, if you were to say why Świątek leads the match 6-3, it would be hard to find an answer. Like, they're both going for it constantly, on every ball. They're both attacking the other's second serves. Has Świątek been a tiny bit more successful? Maybe she's just that tiny bit better on the defense. That's something that she for sure has over the Latvian. But
But is Iga being even more aggressive than normal today? I feel as though she is, even though I've obviously had a fuzzy screen for.
I think so. Like, definitely her idea at Ostapenko so far has not been mixing it up in any way. It's really just trying to overwhelm her, I guess, with pace. But in this game, Ostapenko got like 4 3 points on serve, and that ace down the tee, of course, was the highlight.
There you go. So I'm guessing, therefore, Peaches, that you are not in Arthur Ashe tonight.
Which doubles match was fire, I guess, because I'm not sure if that's what she wrote, but I think
probably is fire. You and I are next to each other on the keyboard.
Yeah, interested if it was like all doubles matches that you mentioned, or just one that was fire.
Even if Iga goes on to win this 6-3, 6-3, which I think is highly unlikely because that'd obviously be 6 games in a row, we have seen something. We have seen we saw her break down. We've seen her obviously a breakdown and 3-love here that we're going to have to see something special. It could go to a tie break and Iga could win it that way as well, of course. But
we're definitely seeing why Ostapenko is such a tough matchup for her, and even if she wins at 6-3, 6-3, we still have seen it.
Yeah,
it's just that she's playing the world number one and one of the toughest outs in the sport. But yeah, this is looking a little dangerous because like if Swiatek goes into the decider now, okay, all the doubles matches. If she goes into the decider with Ostapenko now, you're not gonna be. I don't think you can really give an edge to any player here with the way it's looking so far. So
I think I would still give it to Iga. I mean, she could lose this set 6-1. And
there's no reasoning behind it, though, right? Like, what really is like the fact that she's world number one, the fact that she's winning more than Ostapenko.
Yeah,
it is. I guess it is logic,
reigning champion.
It is some sort of logic. I don't know if it actually applies here, but I get.
Oh, so Iga was my favorite before the match. So if they go into a third set, at 50-50 sort of thing, I'm still going to lean more towards Iga. She's won 33 straight Grand Slam matches after winning the first set. So there you go. Something else to her last loss in that manner was against Ons Jabeur, apparently, when she won the first set at Wimbledon. Did she lose to Ons Jabeur at Wimbledon in 2021?
Yeah.
I remember. It's a nice way for her to start this service game, though, with an ace, 15-love.
Yeah, but I just sort of feel like Sean says that all stats point to Iga except head-to-heads. I just sort of feel like, by the time you are onto the court, the stats don't really matter, if you're seeing a match like this where so far, it's been so even and basically easily could be even, I don't know, like they both have 6 games, right? The fact that Iga has a set is just a matter of timing, really, nothing else. I think if they go into the decider like with not much happening from here until the end of the second set, I think there's basically no edge towards either, and that's dangerous. That's not a situation that Iga obviously wants to find herself in, being the as you said, reigning champion, being the world number one, hanging on by a thread to that ranking. It would be the best, I guess, story for women's tennis as a whole, to get Swiatek Sabalenka, the match for the world number one on Sunday.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy with a 7-5 Swiatek in the third today. I wouldn't be disappointed with that. Because of what you just said as well. There's the Swiatek Goff and then a potential Swiatek Sabalenka final could be super cool, especially if they can produce something like they did in Madrid this year, which was one of my favorite matches of the year. Both those Madrid finals were great. There were some disappointing parts of the Madrid tournament. I think it went really flat from probably parts of the second week in Madrid, but the finals just were great.
And that fourth guy in Iga's box next to the psychologist is her sparring partner, Tomasz Moczek.
Oh, they practice together. Okay.
Yeah. He actually, it's something that also kind of shows you the difference between the difference of levels between women and men in tennis, because apparently right now he can still beat her, but only if he like really, really tries. But he's a guy who would never get an ATP point. Like he would never be close.
Oh, really? It's not even ATP. I thought you were going to say like he got to like 500 or something.
Yeah. No. He can actually still like hang with her, and he would be destroyed by every player in the top 1000. Basically, he has never played a pro match even.
Okay.
He played some Polish exhibitions and like Polish events in the summer of 2020, especially, but like against any player who's ranked by the ATP or like was even close to something like that, he never stood a shot. So that kind of tells you again sometimes people think like the Williams sisters, right? They claim that they were going to beat everyone outside the top 200, and obviously Karsten Branch came out and defeated them both.
Did he? Oh, that match actually happened then.
Yeah, he played a set with Serena and a set with Venus. I think he lost 1 game to one of them and 2 to the other in 1990 something. So it was like very early in Serena and Venus's career.
What was his ranking, more or less?
203. Like he was ranked at the time. He was ranked just outside the top 200, so the threshold that Serena and Venus gave. Mm-hmm. And then they changed it to like 500, but that also wouldn't happen, you know. Yeah. Which by no means is you know, it's not me saying that they shouldn't earn the same or something, you know. That's not what I'm talking about. But you know, it's important, I guess, to realize that. But there's a lot of misconceptions floating around, like the 70% amateur players, right, thinking that that they were going to get a game of a professional, which has been
but
headline.
I'm really surprised by that, and also I just don't even think it's worth being taken seriously. I mean, what I think is a vaguely interesting, at least it's a conversation I've had with other amateur players, is could we win a point? That's
I think when it comes to like 48 points, there's a pretty high likelihood that you're gonna win just based on a missed return, a net cord, something lucky. But a game, like to combine these 4 points together, it's impossible. But I think it's also pretty normal for people to think that when they haven't played with someone that's like miles better than them. I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty common.
They don't understand much.
Yeah, they don't understand, but that's the reason. Like, you get pretty good at something, right? You start, I don't know, playing tennis a bit more, and you feel like you're getting pretty good at something, and you just don't know that there are so many levels to this. To an extent, I had it too. You know, when I was like a few years ago, I thought that. Because I remember when I started playing table tennis, and I also wasn't coached like professionally or something. I was basically just, you know, teaching it. My father taught me a bit, and then I would basically like taught myself to play. And I went to my first event, and I could actually hold my own with these players. And I thought with tennis it's going to be the same. And it was only after getting like totally destroyed by some amateur club players when I realized that, okay, I'm not that good. Okay, I'm not that good. And I think everyone sort of needs this moment of realization. I recently played with this guy who said that I was the best player I ever played against, which was a shock to me because I've played like, you know, tens of guys who were destroying me, just completely destroying me, obliterating me. And I think for him, it was also like, I tried to explain this to him that I'm beating him 6-1, 6-love, but there is another guy who's going to beat me 6-1, 6-love, another guy who's going to beat that guy. And you can go like, what, 100 times before we reach Novak Djokovic? More probably. So
good hold there from Ostapenko. There was also a funny moment in that last game where Jelena sort of challenged or asked for a video review of a point, and the ball landed about 50 centimeters out. So it was quite a clear out, but she still was asking to see that again. There is another factor that would give me confidence that I would win a point over, say, 48, as you suggested, and that would be the fact that I would go for every single shot. Absolutely go for it.
I don't know if you would have the chance, you know, if there's
I think on return I would. My problem would be on the serve.
I don't really think on return you would have a shot because, like,
on the clay, on clay as well. I'm thinking.
Imagine
clay.
that such a heavy stroke is coming at you. Like, it's very likely that you're not even going to get a clean hit on it.
Yeah, very likely. I agree.
Maybe
with that,
over 20, maybe over 24 points on return. Maybe you somehow do it. I don't know, but
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Also depends what sort of pro we're talking about too.
True, but actually, I don't think there's much difference between a Brody and a Djokovic in a way when you're.
No, definitely not. In terms of playing against someone Like, I don't know how you play. You don't know how I play, but like in terms of playing, let's say very mediocre amateur players, I don't think there would be that much of a difference.
There's also another thing. There is another element to this. It will only last 1, maximum 2 points. But do they know your level? Let's say they just think they're playing another professional, And so if it's your serve, if it's your serve, you're done. But if it's on the return, for example, let's say I win the toss and I say, okay, you serve first. They could go a whole service game and maybe not realize.
Yeah,
you could duff up 4 returns, but
they would go for more as well if they were playing. If they were thinking they are playing another professional, right? Yeah, but if they see you serve, then they know already. I think.
Yeah, they know immediately. Yeah.
It's super clear. Actually, when I was playing that guy that I just mentioned, we were there with his girlfriend as well, with my cousin, and she recorded like small videos of us, and I think everything looked pretty okay. I was afraid to see it actually, because sometimes you see yourself and then you never want to play again. I definitely have a bit of a Fonini footwork style, but I knew that. I knew that I'm basically skipping some of the leg work in order to just sort of make up for it with the wrist. I knew that, but I think that the shots itself, they looked okay. But the serve, Jesus, you think you're hitting like a hard flat serve, and it just looks like this.
What an angle and what a bend on that shot there from Iga on the forehand. Reminding me, of course, of Chrissy Everett, who what did she say about Iga and angles this year?
I don't know.
French Open, something bizarre that didn't really make much sense about Iga's not being able to find decent angles.
Okay.
And I don't think she was talking specific about the final against Mukova. I think it was a general comment.
A comment about angles that I love is that Robbie Koenig quote, right, where he says that he worked the angle like a South African diamond cutter.
Okay.
But that's obviously the other way around to Chris Evert, because that's actually a compliment.
Yeah, right. I haven't heard a Robbie Koenig commentary for a while. I know I'm sure he's still doing just as many as he did, but I'm just obviously missing his matches somehow. I mean, I know I've got my own feed, but I even mean just when I trawl through YouTube, he often pops up, of course.
Yeah.
Former player?
Yeah, of course.
Decent return there from Ostapenko. We're now into the rally here, 40-15, of course, to the Poland. She holds, which, bearing in mind, I think it was love 15 at one point, is a healthy hold from Swiatek to make it 2-4 or 4-2 because Ostapenko is about to serve.
I hope it's a quick game because I really have to go pee, but I want to see the game as well.
I'm going to get some water.
The changeover would be a great time, but Ostapenko double faults, so maybe it won't be that quick of a service game. It's already starting like, I see the first rays of sun outside my window, which is quite the feeling, but that's what we do for tennis. And what does tennis do for us?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about Ghosty saying, disagreeing with you, I think, about the Swiatek Sabalenka thing in the final. Is that what you're talking about?
I was not. No.
Ghosty doesn't like Iga. That's it. It's end of story.
And what was that? I didn't even notice that comment.
Oh, it's just that I think it's about 5 minutes ago. You said, of course, what would be amazing for tennis. And I completely get it as well. World number one on the line, and arguably the two best players this year as well. And one of them won one Grand Slam, the other one's won another. There's a bit of a rivalry.
Okay, and he said, "Why would that be the best story?" Yeah, I think John has just explained it. Yeah,
and their matches, even in Stuttgart, which ended up being a bit one-sided for 6 games, was pretty special. And it's like Djokovic, Alcaraz. It's
exactly. Ghosty, I'm not gonna think of water draws. Okay, he's trying to make me think of water, and because he knows I want to go pee. after this game.
Chances of a Swiatek Sabalenka final have just increased.
The biggest river is obviously Vistula, and I'm gonna go now.
Go. Swiatek here, love 40. Seeking to get back on serve. And here we go. Is she going to double fault here? No, she's not. Backhand return. Winner, though, from Iga. And we are back on serve, ladies and gentlemen. She will serve at 3-4. Ghosty is very proud of himself for forcing the issue with Damien. And we do have that break of serve. And we will take a short break. And we'll be back with you in about 60 seconds.
Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
We got here just in time for Swiatek to show Ostapenko that she's going to be serving with new balls.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw the guy dancing in the crowd there, Damien. I don't know if he was your twin. He was sort of dancing in a manner that I would imagine you to be dancing after a few tequilas. It's a little on the stiff side. It wasn't the most fluid of hip movers, let's put it that way. The camera stayed on him for a good 30 seconds, actually, so they were keen to highlight his inability, I guess, to move.
Yeah, we are also back after this pretty poor Ostapenko service game with 2 double faults, this loopy forehand from Swiatek that she didn't handle, and then of course after 2 double faults, I can understand why she was a little tentative on the second serve at love 40, but Swiatek just crushed that. So back on serve, but of course Iga still needs to hold to get it back to level. But if she loses that in 2, then that previous game is what we're going to be talking about when it comes to Ostapenko, like dropping the ball. However, a double fault from Swiatek herself gives her a love 30 deficit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I can see some conversation in the chat about hoping to keep this close and tight. Well, as I said before, I think whatever happens from here on in, it's been a contest. Unlike, there could be other matches that are won 6-3, 6-4, for example, and they were never a contest. But this, because of the advantages that Ostapenko has had, because of the history the two players have, because we just know what Ostapenko is often capable of, this is in the balance, not quite in the balance, if you know what I mean, because obviously they won serve in the second set with Igor set up, but it's, this could be done in 5 minutes and we're into a third set.
Or in literally like 10 minutes, it could also be done.
Exactly,
and we're off the court,
Yeah. Oh, what a cultured return that is from Ostapenko. She did the best she could with that fairly aggressive body serve. Unapologetic, and doesn't have to be, of course. A very cultured return. Did Iga go a bit closer than she needed to with that backhand? I think she might have done.
Yeah, definitely. Ghosty says Iga is a huge talent in the chat. What happened?
Oh dear.
I guess she wants Ostapenko to look good when she beats her.
Indeed. In fact, we've got 1540 as Iga goes wayward with the forehand. It's also suggesting that she is going a bit bigger, a bit sooner than on other matches. What have we got here? Break points 1. So actually, Ostapenko is 2 from 2. Very efficient. Iga's 3 from 5, which is still not a bad record in this match. 3-4. First serve there. Not a bad return, though, from Ostapenko, but she's in big trouble here as she tries to get on the defensive. Has that gone long? No. Really good defense there, as it turns out, from Ostapenko. Not quite neutralized in the rally, though. She's still behind, and as a result, she puts the forehand wide. 30-40. Iga did well, actually, considering how good that defensive and deep shot that was. She did well to sort of stay up in the rally.
Ooh, there are some serve toss issues now for Swiatek.
I've seen that a few times with her, though. You don't get punished, though, in terms of the shot clock if you do that, right?
No.
I mean, you've started your first service motion. I guess that's the.
Yeah, theoretically you can do it countless times, but of course the umpire would actually punish you if you did. If she felt like you did it on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, this is good play from Ostapenko, and she breaks as a result. She was immediately up in that rally after a decent return, but still needed another decent shot there on the forehand to make it 5-3. So she will serve for the second set. I don't have a huge amount of faith that she'll serve it out, but boy, Ghosty's got to be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't have either, but at the same time, do you have a huge amount of faith that Swiatek would get it back to 5-0 if she broke? Not really either. And that's how this match is looking.
Good return there from Iga. Good forehand there from Iga. Love 15. The only thing is, Terry, with that argument is I do think it's probably as likely, if not more likely, to even put you off. You know, if you're doing this deliberately, I think bearing in mind rituals and routines are so helpful in sport, and especially in tennis. I just think that when you're doing that, you're sort of, it's quite a different. I know what he's suggesting there, but I don't know. For me, it's going to disrupt as much as it is help you with delaying tactics. Oh, it's a nice serve from Ostapenko down the tee.
Yeah, I know she just got broken with like 2 double faults, but her serving has been sneaky good. Okay. I'm assuming that she has like 6 aces by now, and also lots of free points on serve in general. Her ace count is at 7 even, and yeah, she's winning 73% of her first serve points. And also, especially in her case, you can see how vital it is to get the first serve in, because on first serve she's winning 73%, and on second just 17. So,
oh wow, as Iga crushes a backhand return on the second serve, 17% on the second serve.
And I also saw this stat a second ago about their first serve percentage tournament and today, and Igas has not moved almost by any margin, and Ostapenko is actually up by quite a lot. I don't think she's risking it less though. I think she's just feeling it better.
And she's just won another second serve point there as well. As soon as that first serve didn't go in, I was thinking of this 17% stat.
Yeah,
and it's now 30-40. So we've got a break point. In fact, it's gone down to 10%, I think. Is that right? Oh, no, it's the second serve set. In the second set, yeah, 10%. But anyway, it's pretty shocking.
Yeah, it wouldn't be 10%, but like 14 probably right
Yeah.
now or something.
And I think it's going to be a second serve again because I think that clipped the net and went wide. It might have landed in, but actually it probably did land in because I think she's taken another ball. It's often a clue that suggests it was a first serve landing in. Here we go. Where's this serve going? It's going long, so it's going to be a second serve finally for Iga to look at. Break point here, and she has to be favourite to win this point, bearing in mind what's happened before, but she errs and puts it wide. It's interesting that she went to the backhand again, because given that how Iga's been crushing that, albeit maybe on the other side in the juice court rather than the ad court. Anyway, she went to the backhand, and this time it worked. Juice.
No, I think it was actually that side where she fired backhand return down the line winner at
Was it? Yeah,
30,
you're right.
30-15 Ostapenko, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was going to be another second serve here. She can't buy a first serve at the moment. Forehand this time from Iga. She did a run around there. And Iga's up in this rally, but she's actually netted. And therefore we have a first set point for Jelena Ostapenko. Okay, first serve desperately needed here, though. She's got it, and she's gone into the net, and she's held serve. And we're going 3, ladies and gentlemen. So we are in this scenario, which we sort of preempted in a way, because I would still go 55-45, maybe even 60-40 in favour of Iga.
That's not much then.
No, it's not.
So I'm fine with that, but I wouldn't be fine with 80-20 or whatever. Yeah. Which was basically, I think, the odds before the match were even more lopsided. Yeah.
I would have probably put it like 60-65 pre-match.
No, they were stupid. Yeah. It wasn't as poor as the Rybakina Swiatek Australian Open when I
really.
Thought that
what was that?
That was well, which system are you familiar with?
Well, I know the UK system, but if you can give me a percentage, maybe.
Well, yeah, I'll have to find a calculator for that.
So I'm guessing you know the US system, right?
Well, the European one. Actually, I don't know the US at all.
What's the European one then?
Just decimal.
Okay, tell me the decimal and see if I can work that out.
No, I mean I think I can. I found the calculator. So basically, for Rybakina against Swiatek at the Australian Open, it was 22% Rybakina, more or less, which was wild to me. And here it was way less for Ostapenko. Let me check actually what the odds were. Were about 7 in the decimal. So that would be implied would be 14, right? Percent. Yeah.
14%. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
Yeah, I mean, both are too low, aren't they, really? I mean, we know the outcome from that Rybakina match, and I had Swiatek to win that Rybakina match, but...
I actually remember that before we watched that match against Rybakina, I said that I don't know how Swiatek beats her. I said that it's 100% Rybakina, okay. Which makes me angry that I didn't bet it. Mm-hmm. Or maybe I did. Oh, I actually did, I think. I can't remember now, but it was in January.
Or did I change? I tell you what it was. I know what it was. I had Daniel Collins beating Rybakina in the third round. But actually, on the eve of the match, I do think, because I remember doing a podcast with Jack for his channel, and I actually think I did back Rybakina in the end. But of course, I'm making that judgment mid-tournament or on the eve of the match. So in fact, but funny enough, I do remember just funny enough having that conversation with Jack on the eve of the match. But there we go.
We cannot stream the match, Zachary.
Hi, Zachary.
That would get us banned.
Yeah.
So it's just us talking, and that's it.
I can tell you what's happening though right now is that Ostapenko is holding her racket in the air as though she wants to have a little thing. I got mad money on Swiatek. I won't add the last word, but you can see it all there. But he's put a lot of money on Swiatek, Zachary. Well, we'll try and paint as good a picture as we can. But I guess to paint a really good picture, we need to be telling you about how Swiatek is winning this set. Well, we can't guarantee that. This is an interesting first rally, though, of the set. And Iga's the one who errs by going into the tram line. Both of them are just hitting this ball as hard as they can, and often as close to the line as they can. And it is very entertaining, although Zachary won't be entertained by that first one. Is it on TV? It is, depending on which country you're in, Zachary, but most parts of Europe, it's on Eurosport. In Spain, it's on Movistar. In Germany, it's on Sport Deutschland. But I imagine you're not in Europe. You're probably somewhere in the Americas, so it'll probably be ESPN. Who you guys got winning? Do I win money? I think you probably do. As I said, I'm going for Iga here, 60-40, that she wins this match still. But
at this point, I think you're sort of flipping a coin for the money.
Ooh, Iga, wow. Ostapenko, sorry, wow. Love 30.
It's just been as even as it gets, really. So I think at this stage, you're kind of flipping a coin.
It would be the story of the US Open so far if Ostapenko wins. Not because I think it's the biggest shock of all time or even the biggest shock of the last probably 72 hours or so, but it's just the story of the reigning champion and world number one going out, losing her ranking to Ostapenko in the nature that it will almost certainly be. It'll be the headline from the tournament so far. And I tell you what, she's loved 40 on her serve. Goes to you. I love that word too. There's actually a football team in Switzerland called FC. Well, it's pronounced TOS because it's got an umlaut over the O, but it's basically TOSS, which is very funny if you're British anyway. It's a great name for a team. Okay, love 40 here. Iga serving. That coin toss maybe is slightly more in favor of Ostapenko right now because she's obviously got 3 break points and a second serve. That was a very close to being an ace, I would suggest, but second serve here. Ostapenko just inside the baseline, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the time she returns it even further. Not much further, actually. She nets on that return, which is to the relief of Iga and a very glum-looking Ostapenko. 15-40. Zachary, hit the like button if you can at least do that for us anyway on Facebook. Sorry we can't share the screen. Okay, there's something amusing is about to happen. Here we go. A forehand.
No. I was actually laughing at you.
Oh, because of me asking him to hit the like button, even though
yes, you're a machine. You're a machine of
like button.
YouTube. Yeah, YouTube recommendations, likes, subscribes.
30-40. See if I can go 5 minutes without asking anyone to like or subscribe. 30-40 here on the Iga serve. She's in charge of this rally, but she dumps the forehand into the net, and we have that break of serve. But, Damien, breaks of serve are not so decisive in this match. So I'm now going 50-50 rather than 60-40. So only Potapova has played more 3-set matches this year than Ostapenko. She's contested 23 3-set matches. I wonder how many matches she's played, Ostapenko, this year. Just a random guess would be 50. So almost half of her matches are going that way. But of course, I am completely guessing. Anyway, 23 3-set matches this year. Only Potapova has played more. You might be right, Ghosty. I haven't spoken to Ala today or ever, to be honest, but who knows? Good return there from Iga again. We've seen that point before.
A friend of mine just asked on Twitter, like, if Ostapenko had an equivalent ATP player, who would it be? I'm trying to contextualize her game in my head, and I just can't. Do you have an answer for that?
No, because somebody who springs to mind, but it doesn't play the same game at all. Because Ostapenko's not really doing drop shots. But there's the first person I thought of was Marajan in that match against.
Oh.
Yeah, but she's not doing drop shots like he does.
No,
every
but
now.
that's a pretty interesting one actually. Other things that people have given in the replies. Someone said Kyrgios. Someone said Stepanek, which I have no clue how that would even be a comparison. And Cilic, maybe. And I said Basilashvili.
Basilashvili, yeah.
But I like that Maroshan one as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
there is some similarity. Yeah.
Karatsev, maybe.
I see Vansh has also said Basilashvili.
Okay. Good company. Double fault, Jelena. 30 all. Not sure about the stat for Kudermetova for 3 sets, but maybe you've got a feeling there, Terry. She's been in quite a few as well. Yeah, maybe.
What's the thing, Kudermetova? You can just check that. I mean,
the person who's been in most 3-set matches this year on the women's tour is Potapova. She's been in 25 3-setters.
I saw it on the screen.
And Jelena's been in 23.
Just 16 for Kudermetova.
It's a really good serve. Really good serve because she messed up. I actually don't think that was the best. Even the one that she ended up hitting wasn't the best toss. And I thought it might mess her up. And I thought she might double fault again. And it was quite close to it, to be fair. It was an unreturnable second serve. Anyway, she's held, I think. Am I right? She has 2-love. Which, bearing in mind, of course, she broke at the beginning of the match and she wasn't able to consolidate. And that seemed to be a significant thing. Well, I'm guessing, bearing in mind you were like coin toss and knife edge, right now Ostapenko's the favorite for you.
Yeah, of course. After she won the first game, she was the favorite. Why not? Obviously, it's all in the balance. Even if she's up 5-love,
to go 4-0,
no one is guaranteed to win. But
wow, 4-0, what a record that would be against someone who I think will go on to become a legend of the sport.
Well, she has a 4-0 head-to-head against Wozniacki as well.
Yeah, but Wozniacki, come on.
I mean, she finished 2 years that were number 1. She won a slam.
I don't care. It's not Swiatek.
I mean, she's not Swiatek, but she is still a legend of the game, I guess. She's like 11th right now, I think.
She's won the same number of Grand Slams as Ostapenko.
Yeah, but she's like 11th, I think, right now on the list of most weeks that were number 1. I think she has just been passed by Swiatek. Okay. 2 years finished at number 1. I will mention that again because it has to be mentioned. So
certainly a good kick on that serve there for Miga, and she wins it with a forehand winner, 30-love. Ghosty, you should be feeling very good right now. I mean, I'm an Ostapenko fan, more or less, as well. I mean, it's not quite to the same level as other players on the tour, but I'm here for it. I enjoy watching her. I love all the shenanigans as well. I do fear when she just hit that ball, like it's obviously a dead ball. I did fear that it would just fly into like a line judge's face and she'd get disqualified.
She wouldn't, because it's on a shot. Even if she killed
the one that there was a dead ball a minute ago. Yeah, no.
I thought you were talking about the return. Okay.
No. That was the return, which has just happened, came next. Yeah.
Today I saw a bit of a scary situation in the Como final where Seibofield, after he lost the first set, I think he turned away and just threw his racket straight ahead of him. And this is usually where the line umpire stands. On the camera you couldn't see because it was towards the camera, so you couldn't see where the line umpire was, but it still felt quite scary because it wasn't like he turned away and saw what was there. and decided to throw, it was, of course, more dynamic than that.
A lovely another flat forehand there from Ostapenko on the rise. We're at 30 all. Terry there highlighting the fact that she was also the longest most number of weeks a number one without getting a slam before she finally won in Australia.
Absolutely, yes.
26 winners from Ostapenko, by the way.
Yeah, and she's absolutely overwhelming Swiatek with the flat pace now.
What a return, because that serve was a hell of a serve from Iga. I mean, it says only 108 miles an hour, but still. 30-40, break point.
Well, needless to say, Ostapenko is the favorite at the moment.
I mean, she gets through. Oh my goodness me, what a return. And it's enough to win the point and therefore have the double break advantage. And it's all about the return. Wow. 3-love against the reigning champion and, at least for now, world number one. But it might just be a few more minutes. Of course, officially, she won't lose it until after the tournament ends. But you get my drift. I'm going to see if I can find this and air the sound from the Badosa thing that I mentioned earlier. And let me see if you can hear this. I'll be surprised if you can't hear this, Damien. Here we go. Forehand, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
A couple of days ago, we asked you about the tactic and what it would be against Coco.
Now you know.
I think so, yeah. I think so. I mean, I'm thinking it's just to give her as many forehands as possible.
Yeah.
and I was thinking, as I was watching, it's not really attack the forehand, it's give the forehand, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very good, she plays amazing when she's defending. She's very fast. She has crazy backhand, very good serve, especially first serves. I just try to return her every ball to make her play one more. Sometimes when she feels she doesn't have like 3 points in the serve, she starts to serve a little bit worse. And of course, going more to her forehand, most because of her backhand is very good. And when you have like the spot there, you just go there. But I just try to go to her forehand, and yet sometimes just give it to her and make her like do more.
A couple of days ago, so there we go. That's the Badosa thing I was mentioning at the beginning, because it's not very relevant right now because we're watching Swiatek against Ostapenko, and I think Badosa's season is done. But yeah, just give that forehand really, which is a bit lucky. I got away with that one. Okay, Ostapenko's serving 3-love. I think there's going to be another twist yet. I'm not saying a twist in other words that's going to send the match in Swiatek's direction, but maybe another break, and it might come here.
Not looking like it at the moment.
I've got 15-love, and it's because she's gone and she's getting frustrated. Iga there, understandably so. That backhand went a bit long.
Yeah, returns like this is not what she needs right now.
And she's going to change her racket. 30-love, yeah. She loves a good racket change mid-game. I think she even did it. Or did it at a very important moment during the tiebreak against Ons Jabeur last year in the final. Yeah, wow. Okay, she goes down the tee, and I think it's going to be an unreturnable. Indeed, it is. So we do have 40-love. These are the odds that I saw on a website earlier, although really this is all like Japanese to me, what I'm about to show on the screen. I don't understand any of that, but whatever. 17%, right? Was it you said before the match?
14, more or less 7-1, basically.
Yeah, 14%. Yeah, I know 7-1. So you know that's the British system, 7-1.
Yeah, but I think in the British it's like weird sometimes, and seven in the decimal sometimes means like 6-1 or something. I don't
You
know.
can get 13-2, which is like 6.5-1.
6.5, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just really stupid. I don't really get why we need 5 different odd systems. I think decimal is the simplest anyway, but obviously the people in the States think that American is the best system. And, yeah.
Terry's asking a question which we kind of
Yeah, I'm just about to check that actually. So 6-1, she has received a lot of sets like this, obviously. 6-0, plenty of them as well. Oh no, I'm actually.
Iga?
Oh, shoot! I checked Ostapenko.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I don't.
Yeah, I was surprised by this because I'm like looking at it and 27 bagels, and also against Samsonova this year, and I'm like, what? Okay, let me scratch that and let me see that again. So 6-1, 18 times. Most recently, 4 times last year. No one, not on any occasion this year, and a bagel 10 times in her career. And the most recent one was Eastbourne 2021.
There you go, on grass, and also
One of them as well against Ostapenko, of course. That first match that they played in Birmingham, 2019.
I'm almost certain that Nick will be asleep, but he's gonna be waking up to pretty bad news, I think, now, because I have love 30. It's 15:30. I mean, a bagel would be stunning. I mean, it shouldn't really matter in the context of the story but it would just add to it. Yeah. So as I say, I do think this is on the verge of being the story of the tournament so far. Oh my goodness me! What a forehand! 15
in like the most common, for casual fans, for sure. Yeah, of course. For me personally, no.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You'd probably go. I mean,
But
even for casual fans, Stricker Tsitsipas, I think, would be up there.
with Swiatek, maybe.
But anyway, but I'm not even talking about the shock levels. I disagree. Oh my goodness me, Iga. She's flustered as well as being overwhelmed right now. And we do have 5-love Ostapenko. And if I was saying 60-40 in Iga's favor at the beginning of the set, I'm thinking 90-10 now. But even maybe that is probably a little bit optimistic for Iga. I mean, it's a triple break advantage. I mean, any other players, you'd be looking at sort of 98-2. They keep going to the eager box. It's understandable as we look at some of these familiar faces. Daria there adjusting her hat. She's thinking about what's the conversation going to be like with Igor afterwards right now. And for Igor, it may just be one of those things like, you know what, I'm going to beat 99% of the tour on a regular basis. We're not going to get that Iga final anyway. We're not even going to get the Iga Coco match that I think many of us were looking forward to. But we are going to get Ostapenko Kokokov, and we could get Ostapenko, Mukova, and I mean, the run for Iga, I did say from the beginning of the tournament, I said there's a winner and a loser there always are from draws, and for Iga it was not great. I thought from this round onwards. I reiterated it today. I didn't predict that she would lose to Ostapenko, but I did think Sabalenka was a winner from the draw, bearing in mind I just really thought Pegula was the main obstacle between her and the final. Anyway, back to the present, back to the moment. Ostapenko serving 5-love. She leads. Where are you going with this first serve? You are going into the net with it. That's where you're going. Bit of anxiety here, perhaps from Jelena, understandable. She's gone big on the return and she's forced the error. Love 15. I don't think we're getting the bagel. Don't think we're getting it. Love 15. Get your thoughts in the live chat. I'm going to ask you now to like this video because I haven't done so for 5 minutes. Hit that like button because there might not be much longer on it. This time it's Iga's turn to go long. 15 all. Ostapenko. Oh, she's annoyed, is Iga there? Just trying to show the action of what she should and wants to do. First serves 1%. Ostapenko's won all of her first serve points this set. She comes into the net. Iga there going for the passing shot. And it's pretty much a forced error from Iga. So we are 15-30. So we're closer to 5-1 than 6-love. And maybe in a couple of minutes, we could have a new world number 1 as well. Good forehand return there from Iga. And that's forced the error. The 2 points subsequent to her frustration with the previous return has seen her execute the return in the manner that she wants. And we're not.
She loosened up. She loosened up a bit and now finds another forehand return. But yeah, winning 4 more games like this.
So she's avoided the bagel anyway.
Yeah.
Lovely return there. The thing is, the good news for Ostapenko is that she's got probably a 50-50 chance of breaking Iga each time almost. So in terms of the tension that, of course, you have when you're serving, trying to serve a match out. Of course, it gets interesting, though, I think it even gets interesting if Iga has a comfortable hold here. It's interesting just to see if Jelena is going to buckle again. Ghosty, how's your heart rate, Ghosty? Oh, is Nerlan here? I just saw lol. Oh, here we go. I'm getting the impression Nerlan is someone that's going to make about 73 different predictions and about 4 are going to come true and he'll be like, told you so. Ostapenko going for it and reaping the rewards. Love 15. 3 points again from winning this match as she was on serve. Nerlan, please hit that like button. Okay, Iga serving, love 15. She's close indeed, Ghosty. She's close.
Yeah, I think it's close as in, an order.
Oh, close. Well, that was probably when she was serving more than returning. But anyway, whatever. The sentiment is there. Iga, a little bit cautious, I think, there with that one and pays the price. She was cautious with that shot. The one that I was referring to before, I think, with Goyo in the previous match. And she went in the direction. It was the... dear me, then I should have replayed that. But either way, we're at love 30. So we're 2 points away from Ostapenko playing Coco Gauff. And a new world number 1. Eager to serve. Ostapenko waits to pounce. She's going to wait a bit longer because it's going to be a second serve. As she moves about half a meter in to where she would have returned the first serve. The first serve was just 86 miles an hour from Iga. Second serve is eaten up for breakfast, and we have 3 match points for Jelena Ostapenko. Jelena Ostapenko, love 40. Here we go. Iga Swiatek to serve. Down the tee. It's a good first serve, but it's a great return from Jelena. And it's a winner from Jelena Ostapenko. And she celebrates it as though she's just won a club match. Iga Swiatek, slightly lukewarm handshake, but I think it's just the sense of disappointment that Iga will obviously be feeling right now. There we go. Over, Mary says. I don't know what I don't know what Ghosty's saying, but it's fist pumps and arm wrestlings and all sorts there.
Latvia fist pump, Latvia fist pump, Latvia fist pump. That's how a bot would read out his comment.
Okay. So, wow. I'm still a little bit shocked.
I don't know. Am I shocked?
I shouldn't be, I know, but I am.
That's how she plays, Ostapenko. Sometimes she's just going to overwhelm you completely. She clearly enjoys this matchup quite a lot.
As Max says, officially, Arina Sabalenka is now the world #1. So congratulations to her. But of course, right now,
officially will be which one? 11th of September. But
yeah. But we get it. So the reigning champion is gone. Again, we're not going to have somebody, at least on the women's side, retaining their title. I don't think that's happened for about 10 years. I think Serena probably did it about 10 years ago. We're going to get a new US Open champion. Let me have a look. Of course, Osaka's not there. Raducanu's not there. Bibi's not there, or at least she's out anyway. I think she didn't even make it. I think she's injured. Here's Ostapenko's words anyway. 4-0 her record now over Riga.
What is it about playing the #1 player in the world? You are now 4-0 against Iga Swiatek. Can you please explain to us, and maybe let everyone else know, how do you do that against someone so good?
First of all, guys, it's amazing atmosphere here. Thanks for staying so late. It's great to be here. I mean, I always expected that battle against Iga. I mean, she's such a great player, and she won many slams, and she's playing very, very consistent. But yeah, when just on court, I knew I have to play my game. I have to be aggressive because that's what she doesn't really like. And I was just flying until the very last point. Even first set, I think she played really well, but I was rushing a little bit, making mistakes. But in second and third set, I think I started to step more into the court, and I was serving better. And I'm really happy to be through. Thanks, guys, for coming again.
Well, you answered my question about how did you turn it around. What were you thinking towards the end of the match, though, because you know that she's not going to quit. So what are your thought processes there?
I was just thinking that I have to play to the very last point until we shake hands. And of course, when I was leading 5-0, she was missing a little bit more than the first set. But I felt like I was playing better and didn't really give her many chances. But I was just fighting until the very last point. I knew that it's going to be tough until, as I said, until the last point.
Can we have a bit of an idea of what you and your coach over there talked about when Iga went off the court to go to the bathroom? You went over there and had a chat with him. What were some of the things that he said to you?
Yeah, he said that some balls I was missing just by a little bit, I don't know, 10, 15 centimeters. And he said just stay aggressive, play your game, and try to not rush and be a little bit more consistent, probably.
Okay,
probably.
You know, we have electronic line calling. You have a bit of an issue about if the machine is running. Is that just like a thing that you have to let out some energy? I mean, what's up with that?
I think both. Of course, energy, and honestly, I don't believe it 100%. I'm honest. So, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes, of course, you get frustrated, but yeah, you just have to stay with the calls, and nothing is going to change. You just have to play the next point. But sometimes I get really frustrated because I really want to win.
You know, you got a tough next opponent. I mean, you've taken out the world #1. Of course, you're going to have to play against American Coco Gauff in the next.
Yeah, that's going to be tricky, obviously, with the American crowd.
I mean, she's a great young player. I played against her this year in Australia. It was a tough match.
Coco will be. Yeah,
great matchup. I mean, it's a great matchup. You know, she destroyed her in Australia. I don't know what she's talking about.
So yeah, it's gonna be a great match.
She was so much better than Coco in Australia. Maybe it's gonna be tougher now.
Oh, she beat Coco in Australia, did she? I don't even remember that.
Of course, yeah. She crushed her, and yeah. Again, this is a very similar matchup. I think she can crush the second serve return and also hit flat and hard to the forehand. I don't know. So it's gonna be interesting, you know. Maybe she wins the slam while winning all matches in deciding sets.
Oh yeah, right, because she's won 3 matches now in deciding sets.
4.
Avanesian, yeah. So yeah, all 4 matches. What did I say? Did I say 3? I meant 4.
Yep.
Yeah. So if Jonah, by the way, here, I'm sharing this tweet that he put out there saying Penko came through. I'm shaking you all. When I read this, I thought, oh, because she's just won. That's because he got that ticket that you touched upon earlier. So she came through for him. If he was shaking, then he must be, I don't know what, he must be almost apoplectic right now, but with joy rather than rage. Because his woman, Ostapenko, Jelena Ostapenko, came through as well on the court, and she will play Coco Gauff in the quarterfinals. The outgoing champion and outgoing world number 1, Iga Swiatek, is done, and she'll be on a plane back to Poland or somewhere anyway.
Isn't she back in Poland already?
I'm not sure she's there quite yet. But I don't know if she's got any Billie Jean King Cup assignments to fulfill. I don't know what the score is with that. Because are Poland still in the Billie Jean King Cup, etc.?
Did we lose? Wait, I can't remember now. Oh, we lost to Kazakhstan. Yeah, we lost to Kazakhstan. Yeah.
Oh well, so she at least can put her feet up for a couple of weeks. And
oh, but we did. I think we got a wild card.
Oh, okay.
But that's not. Is it right now? No, it's not right now.
I think it's going to be interesting to see how we evaluate.
That's in November, right? Like
that's okay. I thought there was a. Oh, is it just Davis Cup then?
Yeah, that's the Davis Cup week. No.
Okay.
Billie Jean King Cup. No.
It's that's done until November till the finals in Seville.
Yeah. And Poland is there as a wild card, even though we lost to Kazakhstan, which is a stupid system. But
I'm really keen to get a press pass preferably for the Billie Jean King Cup, actually, just because I love that city so much and I used to live there. But that is for another day. Today is all about Jelena Ostapenko. Caesar here, or Cesar Carlos, saying, long live the Queen. We know exactly who he's referring to. Not Elizabeth, but definitely Jelena Ostapenko. And on that note, sorry?
No, that's a stupid joke. Never mind.
Okay, never mind.
It's good you didn't hear it, yes.
Okay. All right, well, anyway, on that note, thank you, Tennis World, for stopping by.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis. Thanks for tuning into this watch along. While there's a break in play, here's a reminder to hit the like button, subscribe and click that notification bell. Your support helps to keep the channel going. While we're here, you can now become a member to enjoy perks including badges for the live chat, but also bonus material such as interviews with top players from both ATP and WTA tours. The membership link is pinned in the live chat. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. So whether it be serves or volleys, forehands or backhands, serve bots or drop shots, we've got you covered. Whether that be via our website, talking-tennis.com, where you can read features and interviews from our top writers. Or if you prefer us in audio form, you can subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Amazon or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from. Remember, we offer you wall-to-wall coverage via our regular watch-alongs, magazine shows such as Nick's WTA Weekly or Damien and Mario's ATP version. Plus, we deliver top content from people on the ground, actually at the tournaments, so you get even nearer to the action. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Remember last ball drops? Remember that pretty successful thing we had on during the French Open and during Wimbledon, that as soon as that last ball dropped, we would go live with a review of the day? Well, for New York, we've got something slightly different. It's called the first serve. It may look like last ball drops. It may even appear like last ball drops, but it's on at a different time. Some of you may be thinking, oh, a little bit more convenient, European time, mid-afternoon. Well, you're probably right. Anyway, it's coming your way every day for the next week or so, from probably until about around 4, I would imagine, 3 p.m. Central European time, 2 p.m. British Summer Time, and therefore 9 a.m. in New York, so Eastern Time. We'll be coming your way every day with a review of the previous day's action and a look forward to the day ahead. All here on Talkin' Tennis. So, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and see you at 9 a.m. Eastern Time every day during the US Open until middle of the second week, more or less.